I think I'm in love. My last girlfriend wa- said that about her, so you guys probably remember some of that. But she said that I loved Copilot more than I loved her. Now, of course, Copilot didn't steal my passport. So, yeah, maybe she's right. But I think I'm in love with Copilot. Okay, so tell you what just happened, and this is something that I did not record as I was doing it, and I should have. So I'm going to walk you through um, what I just completed that looks like it worked. It looks like it might not have worked, and I don't expect it to be 100%, of course. However, if it didn't work, it's a really good start. We really, really close to my goal this year is to make to have everything I do in my job to be done for me by Copilot. Not even where I'm having to prompt it for everything. I'm going to create auto agents, which is an agent that just runs on its own without and it does all it already knows when I receive an email, do something, or when I on every Monday morning do something. But and it's launches a series of prompts, right? That just makes sense. It's not rocket science when you click narrow it down to that. It's like okay. So if I can do a prompt for anything, I can daisy chain prompts. So one of the things I did last year, and I'm looking at, I was like, this is one of the first. This is before I created the Copilot Rocks site. I did in March. Um, I took a meeting required. So I'm a software architect. So I meet with people. One of my major responsibilities is to meet with people, and they tell me what they need, what their problem is, and what they hope to have software fix for them. And then I take that, and over a series of days, I design a solution for them. So in March, I took one of their, actually, I think we did it in January or February, but I took the recording from that in March, and I had Copilot um, create users features and user stories for our ADO board. And I did a presentation on it in March for the first time. And it was fascinating. We did it for our software engineering guild. And I tried then to have it do more, but I wasn't as good at prompt engineering. And I'm a lot better now. So I tried again. And I think I could have successfully done this several months ago, but I just was procrastinating. So I called up Sonia, who was the person in the video, and Karen, also in the recording, and they know this software, they know what it is, and they're friends of mine, and I value their incredible uh, capability in their roles. So I said, "Hey guys, come help me out. I need to finish this. I need some accountability. I don't think I need any help per se on the steps. I think I know the steps, and something's just stopping me. So when I feel like that, I get somebody to help hold me accountable, and just even if it's just meet with me 5 minutes on Thursday, uh, knowing I have that Thursday meeting coming up, it's a way to trick myself into doing my job better. Anyway, so I so what I did before was to take the meeting recording and the transcript, and Copilot could write features and user stories. Well, so I'll just walk you through what this is, what I did this morning here. So I went into Copilot, Biz Chat, as we know, can reach across to different areas, and I did a series of about 20 prompts First thing I told it to do was to examine this template. This is the template I use to create architecture documentation. And it has everything that you would possibly need to know from the business side to approve an application. It's got most of what a programmer would need to start building. It doesn't have all of the detail level, and a lot of times I don't give all of that detail level to my programmers. They're extremely good, and they do not need that much the minute details on a lot of that stuff. In the future, I will probably do more of that, work with the programmers to make templates so that app engineers can do what programmers used to do. But that's not this project. So the first thing I did is to look at this template and look at each section. So it identified the sections properly. Let's see. I need to. And so purpose and definition, background information, blah, blah, blah. So um, the next thing, wait, hold on. Then I told it, okay, so this is the problem description, business capability impact, business objectives, architecture and assumptions. These are the sections of that diagram. Then I told it to look at uh, the guardrails that we wrote for anything built with Workday Extend. It's a custom application platform where we like Power Apps, but for Workday specifically. And this is what we all knew that this fit our requirements for what should be in Workday, and therefore uh, we were already leaning toward Workday Extend before we started this meeting in the first place. So it breaks down the purpose, background information, and conditions. Uh, so it does a good job at, but I don't think I needed this part. Um, I think I could have done it without that prompt. So this is the major piece here. So now I say, okay, now using the template document as a template, look inside the transcript. And there are actually two projects that we talk about in that transcript. So I'm telling it, just do one of those projects and write the first section of that template, the problem description. Uh, and it did it. Uh, and then I told it to do the second section, problem statement, and it did it. So I continued with that for each section and just scrolling through those more rapidly because I want to show you what it does when it gets to a section that's a little more technical, a little more different. So business objectives, it continues. I do the next section. By this time, it knew it saw where I was going. And so it's just saying, starts to tell me, oh, no, hold on. I'll come back to that. So this section coming up is different. It involves creating diagrams. No, not diagrams, but adhering to standards. So we have a lot of architectural standards for software engineering, for business people to use, for app engineers to reference as well in CDAS. This Workday Extend documentation that we wrote isn't in CDAS yet, but so I told it to go and look to do this architecture vision section to incorporate the standards from my standards guardrails document. We could do that. We could do that same thing by telling it to look somewhere at CDAS for a specific area. I think we probably don't tell it to look anywhere on CDAS, but we probably have to point it more specifically in toward specific standards. But that ain't hard. So it does that. and it did a good job. So I haven't read through the details of this, and I don't expect it to be 100% yet. But just at first glance, it did a good job. Um, didn't do a great job, but it it did kind of complete it with just that one prompt. So then I tell it to continue doing that same pattern with the next section and the next section. And it's, it's writing a lot of stuff that Copilot is good at writing. We all know that. That was a big chat GPT thing. But now we come to something different. And so instead of telling it to act a little differently, I told it, I did the same prompt. Now just do the next section. But this section requires diagrams. And it gave me bulleted paragraphs. That's not right. So I told it. And remember, I talked to Copilot like it's an intern that I'm giving instructions to. And it's not always right. So I got to treat it like the intern and say, sorry, that is not correct. The as is conceptual architecture section requires a visual view. Visual view. Let's try that. And then it created this. This was surprising. I mean, it's not bad at all. It's not. It's a little weird looking, but it is visual. Uh, that's not what, but I wanted to see what it would do without more specific prompting. And that's not right, but it is compelling and it is visual. So I said, that's good, intern, but can you do it again, this same section, but output it as mermaid code? So if you haven't seen me talk about mermaid code, this is mermaid code. So it does it successfully. It generates mermaid code. Mermaid code is just how you put a diagram in a manner that the computer can redraft it without can reproduce it at any time without starting from scratch. It's just code that's saved somewhere. And with mermaid code, Microsoft Power, not Power, in here, Microsoft Loop, now renamed to Copilot Pages, has a built-in mermaid interpreter, it's called a code interpreter. And so when you click edit in Pages, you can actually view that, and it's built into Teams here. You can view that, let's see, I want to scroll down to the mermaid code section. It'll be easy to spot. So here is what the mermaid code section looks like. So this is mermaid code. It could do other types of code, but I wanted mermaid code. And it shows you, it has the code up top, and here is the diagram. And yeah, so anyway, that's basically it. It does do more diagrams, and but it did the whole document. So next steps, and I think this will always be the case until Copilot's better at this than we are, which might be a few months. But validate the work it's done. And so I'm going to meet with Karen and Sonia, I think Tuesday we said, and go through it and see what it lacks, and then try adjusting the prompts to give it more detail if necessary for some of the things. I know the Workday Extend guardrails. Yeah, we're gonna have to tell it a little bit more. But that we haven't put that in CDAS yet, so maybe it's not as instructive as it needs to be for a human. And if it's not constructive as enough for Copilot, my intern. So, but it did the whole document for me. And after we get that part, so the cost portion, we didn't talk about cost. We don't have that information. We don't delve into that information yet. We're learning this year. Furkan is teaching us a lot more of the cost stuff. But when we did this, I was like, I know how to spell cost at Chevron, but I don't know anything about our procurement and licensing. I know we got to have the license. That's it. So maybe I can have it used for Khan's instructions that in his first class he taught us to split this into blue dollars and green dollars too. Hmm. And that's really, let's just do it. Let's try it right here. Look at the meeting I had with for Khan earlier this week and use it as a reference to split the costing into blue dollars. So I've had more than one meeting that Furkan was in, but this is the one that where he was the owner of the meeting. So I think it'll catch it. Oh, it couldn't find any specific details about a meeting. However, earlier this week, maybe because that's last week, I don't know. Based on common practices. Okay. Okay. All right. I need to think about that. Yeah. Well, let's find out. Let's find out later. But next step we will do is to automate this with Copilot Studio whenever it's allowed. Or no, I mean, can I put the? I'm going to try it with the agent builder. No, that won't work. No. Preston taught me something about prompting that might try it. Oh, I had to call Preston. But the next step is to make it automatic. So that because I've tried it before, where I told it, look at the document and break it out and make it break it down each section. It didn't work. But now that I split it into separate prompts, 20 separate prompts instead of one big prompt, it worked. And so now I just have to automate that so that it automate Copilot Studio. I know I can do that. Just have it do prompt one, prompt two, prompt three, prompt four, prompt five. It's gonna be a good year.